Visually manifesting your inner desires, like abstracts are your new best friend. The word abstract tends to alarm people because it seems to imply that a painting will be impossible to understand. Simon Jennings. There's a couple of reasons why I think a lot of people are averse to abstracts, and it has to do with how our brains are wired. There's a natural phenomenon that reinforces our ability to constantly be looking for faces and patterns in order to adapt to our environment. So the concept abstract, it's defined as denoting an idea removed from reality or becoming disconnected from what's observed. It's intangible and doesn't exist as a concrete object. I think abstracts remove that level of judgment that our mind has on autopilot, allowing the artwork to speak differently to each viewer. However, even when we're looking at an abstract piece, our mind will still attempt to find objects in the chaos, patterns in the chaos. So there's this natural phenomenon. It's called pareidolia. There's other terms underneath that, like matrixing or patternicity. So pareidolia is basically seeing things that aren't there. It happens in the primitive part of the brain. It has to do with like survival. It has to do with survival. We learn to recognize patterns with our senses in patternless information. For example, a picture of a crater on the moon, like this one, it may look like a face, but maybe it's just a shadow. Or listening to that one Beatles song, I don't remember the name of the song, but you listen to it backwards and you hear John is dead. That's like an example of auditory pareidolia. So these patterns our brains connect to feelings, then the feelings connect to an emotion, emotions connect to memories. This is why I think a lot of people have a hard time connecting with abstract artwork. I'll ask someone for feedback on one of my artworks, and they might tell me what shapes or figures they see and what it reminds them of. Like, this reminds me of the beach, and the white blobs look like clouds, like you're looking over the beach down from high in the sky. Now, I'm not saying this is a good or bad thing to have. It's just a natural thing that we all do. And how can we understand it better to help use it in our life journey to make our lives better? One, getting to know yourself better. I'm very visual, and I'd rather draw or paint what I say rather than verbally say it. Art is its own language, but it's not as widely understood as English is. Creating abstract artwork in conjunction with a meditation practice is similar to writing in a journal. You're externalizing certain feelings and energies and using it for self-reflection and to share for others' benefits if you like to share your work with other people. Another way you can use abstract artwork to your advantage is manifesting your inner desires. Now, this is something that my affirmation portrait system is really key on. So there's this book called The Desire Map by Danielle Laporte. One concept Danielle teaches is to create your core desired feelings. Basically, you base your life decisions on how you want to feel. One thing I had trouble with through her book, and I went through a couple of workshops, I had a hard time making my core desired feelings have a big enough impact, meaning to me, because they were words, and pictures mean more to me than words do. Vision boards weren't doing it for me. They weren't enough. That's why I created my affirmation portrait system. It was a way for me to visualize my desires through art principles that I could concretely relate to and that I could connect more effectively in my brain. It made my desires also more three-dimensional so that my subconscious could better understand how I wanted to improve my life, how I really wanted to feel, attach a picture or memory, kind of like how vision boards do it, only I'm making an abstraction of my literal feeling, an abstraction color field of my feeling. And since each artwork is created while I'm in my desire mindset, they really become visual incarnations of those core desired feeling words. So if you'd like to join me, you can learn more about my affirmation portrait system process on my website at keziacarterstudio.com. Also on my website, you can find lots of freebies. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about abstracts. Do you like abstracts? Do you hate abstracts? I have a lot of people, family and friends, who just don't really understand them, but can appreciate them. They just don't understand them. I'd really like to convert the world to abstract artwork, but because it's abstract, it's an abstract term to understand. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.